Hello, welcome to InfoHub. In our headlines, 25th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting ends in London. Bartica Power Station powering up, and Lusignan gets a new $360 million pump station. Stay tuned for the details of these and more.
The future of Guyana has never looked better. Our nation is on the cusp of a development program like never seen before. While Guyana is now emerging as an energy giant through the discovery of massive reserves of oil and natural gas, it is your government's intention that the huge benefits emerging from this will go where it matters most, to you, the people of this beloved country. There is a surge of confidence in the way Guyana is governed once again, and the level of investor interest is unprecedented. Guyana is poised to become the breadbasket of the region, and the pace at which this nation will grow through prudent fiscal management will be nothing short of impressive. But more than anything else will be the way every Guyanese, regardless of color, class, or creed, becomes a part of this historic period of national transformation, sharing in the wealth and well-being of it all as one Guyana.
Here's an important message from the Ministry of Finance and the Ghana Revenue Authority.
If you've never filed or paid your taxes, or have deliberately not declared your true income, and now you're worried that you'll be audited by the Guyana Revenue Authority, I have good news for you.
The Ministry of Finance has announced a tax amnesty effective January 1 to September 30, 2018.
So you can now pay all your outstanding income, property, corporate, withholding, and capital gains taxes and get right with the GRA. Visit their office or call them at 227-6060, extension 1201 or 1204 today.
Invest in your country. Pay your taxes.
We begin with news by telling you that the 25th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting wrapped up today in London, with leaders reaffirming their commitment to working towards a common future. Stacey Carmichael now joins us with that report.
The 25th Commonwealth Heads of Government meeting wrapped up today in London with a private retreat hosted for heads of government, including President David Granger at the Windsor Castle. President Granger on Thursday, during a closed-door executive session, called on the Commonwealth to play a greater role in the realization of the objectives of the Langkawi Declaration and Iwekrama. He also reminded CHOGM of the need to provide increased financial and technical assistance for climate mitigation and adaptation, particularly for small island developing and low-lying states, while promoting initiatives which support green economies. On the sidelines of the conference, President Granger met with Mozambique's President Filipe Nyusi, Commonwealth Secretary General Patricia Scotland, and was part of a high-level delegation of leaders to meet with Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. President Granger spoke of his expectations of CHOGM 2018.
We have great expectations that CHOGM would give us a roadmap for the future. As you know, there's some uncertainty about our post-Brexit relations. We would like to get certain guarantees about our economy, and that is one area. We'd also like to look at the post-Brexit negotiations, the post-Cotonou discussions as well. We would like to get some assurances about investment in Guyana. We're very grateful for the support that we've received from Commonwealth over the years for the territorial controversy. I don't think that is in dispute. That will continue. So those are some of the principal areas. We feel that this is an important platform now. There's a lot that we've brought to CHOGM, and there's a lot we'll be taking away from CHOGM. It's a good meeting for Guyana.
Reporting for InfoHub, Stacey Carmichael.
The Bank of Guyana has condemned a Guyana Times article titled Bank of Guyana Gold Reserves Plummet, published on April 18, 2018. In a statement, the BOG described the caption as misleading and notes the article itself recklessly presents a woeful interpretation of available data. For the record, the Bank of Guyana trades gold and replenishes the stock based on market opportunities. Gold is not managed as an exclusive reserve asset for holding, but as part of a portfolio of assets. Gold may be sold for a number of reasons, including maximizing profits, rebalancing of the portfolio, meeting liquidity needs, or optimizing opportunities in other asset classes. With the price of gold as high as US $1,364 recently, the bank has been trading gold as any bank worth its salt will do. It was explained that dips in the reserves therefore reflect strategic trading rather than an involuntary disposal of gold. BOG therefore assures that the benchmark for the holdings of international reserves are vigilantly adhered to and upheld. Additionally, the bank explained that the domestic market has an excess supply of foreign currency to meet domestic demand while maintaining a stable foreign currency exchange rate. Tiffany Rodius reports that there is a growing interest among Guyanese in the United States diaspora to return home in the advent of the country's oil and gas developments. So says Guyana's ambassador to the United States, Dr. Riyad Instanali.
There's tremendous interest on the part of Guyanese in the diaspora to return home, not necessarily permanently, but at least go back, see what's happening. They feel the buzz as well. Some of them have important skills. They're interested in offering their services.
The ambassador noted that his office is in the process of rolling out the diaspora engagement strategy, a draft of which has been completed. Ambassador Instanali noted too that there are still areas for consideration to be included in the strategy.
We perhaps need to consider other incentives. We perhaps need to consider structured programs to attract specific skills. And we perhaps need to do a better job of communicating with the diaspora to let them know what is possible, what is available, and to encourage to come back.
The draft diaspora engagement strategy and action plan is being reviewed by the diaspora unit of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs before being submitted for Cabinet's review and approval. The policy paper will formally guide the administration's relationship with the diaspora with a focus on three main operational areas: diaspora communities, home country, and social media. For InfoHub, Tiffany Rogers.
Residents of Bartica and the surrounding communities in Cuyuni Mazaruni will soon benefit from improved power supply as the construction of a 3.3 megawatts power station is closer to realization. Renata LaFleur has the details.
During a recent meeting with regional officials, Minister of Public Infrastructure David Patterson explained that large sums have already been expended on most of the equipment which have already arrived.
The civil works is $308.8 million. That's for the building, the foundation, the house, new building, and the jetty. The cost for the mechanical electrical work is $54.2 million. The cost so far is $1.41 million expended to date. There's some other minor courses which will be clearing, land acquisition, and those things like that, or a bit of road groundings and those things like that.
According to project engineer Julian Reddy, the scope of the project includes a structure to house the 3 generators, the control room, facilities for employees, a fuel wharf to facilitate the delivery of fuel directly to the plant via a boat, among others. He provided an update on the project's status.
We started some works in town which procure materials, and the steel structure will be fabricated in Georgetown, so that has already started. In addition to the building and civil works, we have a mechanical contractor, which is Yan Engineering. The civil works will be undertaken by Geico Construction and Engineering Services. So Yan Engineering would be responsible for the installation of the switch gears, construction of the fuel lines and stuff. So both projects, both contractors, the work will be running in tandem.
The current power plant has outlived its life cycle and causes noise pollution. Renata LaFleur for InfoHub.
Stefan Gabriel now tells us that Minister within the Ministry of Public Health, Dr. Karen Cummings, on Thursday paid a visit to 3 families in Lima, Essequibo who were affected by a recent storm.
Minister Cummings and her team conducted a first-hand assessment of the damaged homes and distributed sanitary supplies and food items to the affected families. Narini Narayan, who resided at Lot 18 Lima Housing Scheme, says though her and her family are traumatized, they are beginning to rebuild their lives and are seeking assistance.
This is not me and you did it. It's like a disaster. And I hope not to get that feeling again. We're traumatized and we're trying. We have a little material left. We will do the best we can to use it back What we need now, we asking like, you know, we want to be go back to work and just cook, get the kids back to school.
Heavy winds, lightning and thunder on April 13th damaged 3 homes. The roofs for 2 homes were completely destroyed, while another was partially damaged. Sultan Rasul of Lot 19 Lima Housing Scheme and Hassan Ali of Lima Public Road were the 2 other victims. Minister Cummings, after meeting with the families, committed to addressing the situation. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
$360 million pump station commissioned at Lusignan.
Minister of Agriculture Noel Holder described the pump station's construction as in keeping with a wider commitment by government to mitigate the effects of climate change on coastal communities.
The objective of the project is the reduction in flooding in the low-lying areas of the East Demerara. These stations are being constructed at a cost of $11,890,000 United States dollars. One of the outputs of this project is to implement priority risk reduction on the east coast of the Demerara drainage system by improving pumping capacity in 3 areas: Lusignan, Friendship Vigilance, and Hope and More.
Ministry of Agriculture Permanent Secretary Delma Ned added that the newly constructed pump station will bring long overdue relief to residents of East Coast Demerara.
Under the Flood Risk Management Project, World Bank, approximately $365 million was spent for this drainage pump. And it is intended that some 50,000 residents would be relieved from flooding.
The newly installed pumps can drain up to 102 gallons of water per minute. Chairman of the Monrepo-La Reconnaissance Neighborhood Democratic Council, Ayubi Mohammed, committed to taking care of the investment. He also extended gratitude on behalf of the community. For InfoHub, Stefan Gabriel.
We end with this report from Natisha Isaacs about a group of women who kayaked the entire length of the Essequibo River.
The 3-woman team were accompanied by local indigenous tour guides and a tushao from the YY group. The project entailed visits to the indigenous communities of Conishan, Fairview, Apoteri, and Iwakrama. Expedition leader Laura Bingham.
I had the idea in England, and my husband filmed a show here a few years back, and he absolutely adored Guyana and the rainforest with all the wildlife. So he was telling me about Guyana, and I sort of fell in love with the idea of it. And then I thought, I want to paddle the Essequibo.
This was the first expedition to kayak from the source to the mouth of the Essequibo River and focused greatly on the community tourism and Guyana's waterways.
We've been going through the most incredible wilderness, just open jungle, and seeing the most fantastic wildlife, also learning a lot about the conservation efforts that have been going around the country.
Arriving here is just brilliant to finish, and as Ramel was saying, it's been such a collaborative effort, and we couldn't have done it without the YY, and I'm just so grateful to the people of Guyana because they've opened up their hearts, their houses. We've had such incredible hospitality.
The over 70 days expedition began on February 2, 2018 and ended on April 17, 2018. For InfoHub, Natisha Isaacs.
Check our website or Facebook page for more details as we bring you updates and developments across Guyana and further afield. Thanks for watching. Connect with us 24/7 on our website and social media. Goodbye.
The taxes we pay provide revenue for the government to use to develop and improve our country's infrastructure and the life of all Guyanese.
If we pay our taxes, the government will be able to build more roads, schools, hospitals, bridges, and other government facilities.
The government will also be able to use those funds to pay better wages and salaries to public servants and to improve government services.
This will help to attract more investors to our country, create jobs, and reduce poverty.
Let's invest in our country. Pay your taxes.
A message from the Ministry of Finance and the Guyana Revenue Authority.